Welcome to English Stories by Manvi Sharma, where simple stories create powerful lessons. Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I am going to share a very beautiful and meaningful story with you. Today's story is called The Garden of Different Flowers. It is a story that teaches us why being different is something special. Our story begins in a truly beautiful garden. Let's picture it. A peaceful, lovely place where every single flower had its very own spot to grow and just be. You see, this wasn't just any garden with only one kind of flower. Oh no, it was a wonderful mix, a whole community of different colors and shapes and sizes, all living there together. There were the elegant roses, you know the ones, with their soft petals and that sweet, sweet smell that would drift on the breeze. And standing so tall and proud were the bright sunflowers, their big, happy faces always turning to follow the sun across the sky. Of course, there were also the graceful lilies, adding such a pure and quiet beauty to the whole garden. And sprinkled everywhere in between, you'd find the small, humble wildflowers, adding their own little touch of charm to the empty spaces. And, the real magic of this garden was that they were all so different. Every flower had its own unique color, its own shape, its own size, and it was this mix of everyone being unique that made the garden feel so peaceful and so beautiful. But then, one day, that wonderful peace started to fade away. A quiet little shadow fell over the garden as the flowers began to look at each other, but in a new, not-so-happy way. It all started with the rose. It looked way up at the tall sunflower and sighed, saying, "You are so tall and bright. Everyone always looks at you." But the sunflower heard this and replied, "But you are so beautiful and elegant. People love your wonderful fragrance." You see, even the bright, sunny sunflower felt like it was missing something. And nearby, a little wildflower drooped its head, thinking to itself, "No one ever notices me. I am just too small, too simple." It felt completely invisible next to all the others. This feeling, it spread from one flower to the next. The rose felt it wasn't enough, the sunflower felt it wasn't special, and the wildflower felt completely lost. And so, the garden that was once so full of life now felt silent and heavy with sadness. But someone did notice what was happening. The wise gardener, the one who cared for them all, saw that the colors didn't seem as bright, and the air just didn't feel as happy as it used to. He knelt down close to them, and with a kind and gentle voice, he asked, "Why are you all so sad?" And with that one gentle question, all of their feelings just poured out. The rose confessed it wished it were tall like the sunflower. The sunflower admitted it wished it was elegant like the rose. And the little wildflower just whispered that it wished it could be like any of them. The gardener listened so patiently to every word, and when they were finished, he smiled. "My dear flowers," he began, "do you know why this garden is so, so beautiful?" He paused for a moment, and then he told them the secret. "It's because you are all different." He explained, "Every one of you has a purpose. You see, the rose gives the garden its lovely fragrance. The sunflower brings all of its wonderful brightness. And the small wildflower, you add a special softness and charm that makes the whole garden complete. Each of you matters so much." The flowers were so quiet, just taking in his words. And for the very first time, they weren't thinking about what they didn't have. They were thinking about what they did have. They started to see themselves and each other in a completely new light. And you could almost see the change happen. The rose's petals seemed to lift as it smiled. The sunflower stood up just a little bit taller, its head held proud. And the small wildflower, well, for the very first time, it felt truly special. In that moment, they all understood a very simple truth. They didn't need to be like anyone else. They just needed to be themselves. From that day on, the whole feeling in the garden changed. It wasn't just beautiful again. It became more full of life and joy than it had ever been before. The flowers stopped comparing and started appreciating. The rose loved the sunflower's happy spirit. The sunflower admired the wildflower's gentle strength.
And because they all accepted each other, the whole garden became more colorful, more peaceful, and more alive.
And so the lesson from our little garden is a simple one, but a very important one. Just like the flowers, we are all different, and that is what makes us special.